Oh, well, August 14th, 2009, Tyler's first show here, team member Tyler. And look at here, you can see we had a little bit of a false start. It carried on for over 2 minutes. I mean, look at over 2 minutes, and that's as far as we got. So you can imagine just blah, 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 blah. A lot of rambling about God knows what. So here we go. We're going to start right here at the beginning with Punch You in the Eye, AC/DC Bag, NICU. You know, songs that I listening to these shows, jumping around from era to era. Ooh, the Punch You in the Eye, Bag, and NICU. I've been hearing a lot of these mid-90s of these songs, and these weren't quite as sharp. You know, a little bit rough at the beginning of Punch You in the Eye. AC/DC Bag, still good, but not, not near the great level. The other night, I felt like it was one of the strongest songs in the first set. Well, like I said, it's still all right, but just didn't have something on it yet, though. You know, that song needs a little bit of a jam into it, and it had one, but just not quite there yet. So that's not what made this night special, though. Overall, look at the set list. Pretty good set list, right? Pretty good looking whiteboard, too, if I may say. You can't stop me. I can say whatever I want in my videos. All right, so then here we go. Let's get to what started to make the night special. You see here, Colonel Forbin, Famous Mockingbird, hadn't been played since didn't be played, weren't played at all in 2.0. So going all the way back to 2000 before you got a Forbin and Mockingbird. Lots of buzz around those songs too. Like every time, any show, and especially by '04, every show you went to, you were hoping for one of these. Well, here in Hartford, Connecticut, you finally got it. And again, not that everything was going to be perfect for these, but for something that was just whipped out, certainly I don't feel like they were winging it here. And then going from the Mockingbird to Birds of a Feather, it's typical of a Type 1 jam here in the first set, even no matter the era. It felt really good too. There was and even this, I was a little confused because it had been a while since I heard this. I thought, I thought it was over in Down with Disease that kind of had the Reba feel to it. I heard it here in Birds of a Feather, and sure enough, it was in Down with Disease. Way more obvious, but even in the Birds of a Feather jam, I thought I heard a little bit of a Reba feel there to it. And then you got Lawn Boy after that into Stash. Now the Stash, there's this part in the middle, man. I don't know, 7.5, 8 minutes, somewhere in there. Almost like a zigzaggy tray. Not that they didn't go too crazy with the Stash. Well, it's kind of naturally a pretty crazy song, but kind of like the Bag and the Birds of a Feather. Pretty much like everything on this night. Kind of keeping it in. We can't let that ruin us. I can't really get going, man. All right, let's get it together here for John, Moses, Quagmire, DeWitt, Hampton. Almost said Hartford. They should have said Hartford. So that's who played the vacuum solo, a recent graduate of a music school. Was it Berkeley? Recent graduate of Berkeley, I believe. John, Quagmire, DeWitt, Moses, Hartford. Forget it. Hampton. Damn it. You got me. All right, you know who we're talking about here. We're talking about Moses DeWitt. He got down on the vacuum solo, of course, and in Middle of the Road, the Mike song, only played 2 times Middle of the Road. Almost felt like it could have been a song for Page to really flex his muscles, ending with a hard and heavy character zero, getting everybody fired up. If they lost him a little bit here, how could Moses DeWitt lose them? I don't know how. I don't know what's going on. Somehow I'm lost. Maybe what happened over here, because then we got just a complete explosion. The Down with Disease, while, it wasn't this big, long monster that went in all sorts of directions, it pretty much stayed with Down with Disease. It was hard, hard on the Type 1 and long with the Type 1 there. And then finally it drifts into that Reba jam, ending that up and, just whoop right into Wilson. And then I kind of look at this, man. We're so used to this, but then a Wilson right here, a Slave right here. Well, it wasn't the coolest Wilson ever. I do like Wilson, and I just almost like, damn it. Sometimes you listen to these songs, it's like, why not? My first thought is, I wish they played this more. What's the point in doing that, though? I don't know. Why am I bringing it up now? I don't know. Then we get Slave to the Traffic Light. Whatever. At first I was a little bit like, caught me off guard. I looked at the set list, but by the time I started listening, I couldn't remember what they were playing. Had them sitting out on the back porch actually enjoying the second set. It's a beautiful day here in lovely Dayton, Ohio. So the Slave to the Traffic Light, man, Trey just did not want to let up. Once he got, and this may have kicked it off. These were good, but this one really may have kicked it off to why we ended up getting then just a killer Piper. Although there were some parts of the Piper that were they were a tad lost, They didn't know, they just weren't quite there yet. Even on a song like Piper that I would have figured, hell, you could have grabbed him at 2007. thrown them together in a room, and they probably could have pulled off a killer Piper. Not as a good one, but and then Water in the Sky felt like it didn't fit. Did it start dropping rain right then and there or something? Should have mentioned the lamppost. Oh, I did mention the shirt, did I? I don't know. I've tried this several times. I don't know what the hell's going on. What's going on, man? You on the drugs? No. You have a cat in the room, though. Perhaps that's startled. He's so startled by the cat. So Water in the Sky just kind of felt like it didn't belong, but perhaps it started raining there. I don't know. Somebody, I'm sure Tyler was there. Other people, a lot of people's first show in 2009. Makes sense, though. Picked up a lot of fans probably in 5, 6, 7, and 8. I kind of got super into him during the hiatus. All right, so then, all right, where it go? Oh yeah, again, much like everything else here, the Ghost just kind of stayed. Like if this was this nowadays, we'd be like, oh, that was a killer first set Ghost. That was an outstanding first set down with Disease. The Piper, what happened there with the Piper? It's good, but no matter what set. But then the Ghost, and then they drop it into what was like another moment. While the Psycho Killer wasn't all, that Psycho Killer wasn't that cool, really. It was the fact that they played it was really cool. They're busting things out. And why not, From 97 on, it was like, why don't they play Psycho Killer again? Although that Psycho Killer AC/DC bag at the Nutter Center, I mean, were they ever going to top that? I don't think they were. At least they didn't try that. They go Ghost Psycho Killer here. So then, the tail end of Psycho Killer just drifts into Trey. He's talking about, he sees where they're headed. He starts talking about, making a sound that later on led to his talking about his age. In the Catapult, he also mentioned one of his favorite songs. He can't wait. Maybe there will be a day when a song like Catapult is played on the radio. And this was a particularly odd version of Catapult, which led us into Iculus, which is always going to be a little odd. He calling people out, sees them on their cell phones, playing video games. It was a good, enjoyable Iculus. So. And then we get down here to the You Enjoy Myself, and it just started out a little like, I don't know. Like, I didn't like, I don't know. I'll give him an A for effort here in trying the Psycho Killer, but at that point, and then this is all fun, kind of like Alpine at 19 when they played Iculus. Didn't really matter at that point. And many other times. That was just one I happened to be there, It was a really good show, and then they played Iculus toward the end, and you just kind of lose your mind, Doesn't really matter. Even if this bizarre thing was before it, and then this was, even though it's one of the I don't know, it just kind of here at the tail end, they did lose me a little bit. And possibly it's because I've been listening to so many YE, because every now and then I have to go back and listen to it again here. I see we're almost at 8 minutes. Let's get out of here. My Guitar Gently Weeps was the encore. Clone, clone, clone. Man, this was trash. Sorry, Tyler, such a great show. I just feel, maybe it's just that I feel like so much has been said about this show. It's cool. They didn't need to rely on the big jam. Like I said, they, every now and then they'll give you a show like this too, where there's some super rare stuff. All right. So that was one thing that separated it from Alpine there in 17 or 19. That had the monster, the Ruby Waves. But then, all right, boom. This went way too long for a garbage recap. That whiteboard looked excellent at the beginning. Went with the backup Sharpie here too. I don't know where the hell I put the other one. Boom, we're out of here. We got 12/15/95 on deck. If I didn't already mention, might have been in a failed video. Maybe I'll post that failed one up on for members only. It's worse than this. I gotta go. Boom.